Hi everyone. So we'll go ahead and get started now. Thanks for joining us today as we discuss your move from Desk to Service Cloud and how we can assist you on a one-to-one basis. First of all, before we begin, just a quick note, because Salesforce is a publicly traded company, and when considering future developments or purchases, whether by us or with any other solution provider, you should always base your purchasing decisions on what is currently available. Some quick introductions. So my name is Eric Fitzhugh. I'm a senior technical support engineer here at Desk.com, and I've been with Salesforce since 2015, and I'm based in Dublin, Ireland. And I'm joined by my colleague Sarah Thomas, who will be assisting me in answering any questions you may have. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Eric. Thanks for joining today, everybody. If you have any questions, you can start posting those in the questions panel, and we'll get right into those before the end of the webinar.
Thanks, Sarah. And lastly, before heading into our agenda for today, I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to join this webinar and for being the reason Salesforce is so successful. Our customers are the real MVPs at Salesforce, and we appreciate everything you do to make our company great. Now, let's spend a minute reviewing today's agenda and objectives. Today's session will focus on providing you with information on how we will help you transition from Desk to Service Cloud with ease. First, we'll take a look at some of the awesome customizations our team has built out for you in your customized Service Cloud trial. Next, we'll discuss what migration packages we have to offer and then timeframes involved for each. Then, we provide some guidance on how you can get started, how you can get prepared in-house for your move from Desk to Service Cloud. After this, we'll take you on a walkthrough of our process for migrating customers over to Service Cloud and what's involved, including showing you some of the great features we have built into Service Cloud for you. We'll follow this up with information on how to apply for migration assistance, and squeezing in a little more time, I'll point out some great resources you can avail of and open up the line for questions with any time remaining. Please note that you're welcome to start posting those questions now in the questions panel, and we'll endeavor to answer those live at the end of this session. The session's also being recorded, so you'll receive a recording and a copy of the slide deck once the webinar has concluded. Now, let's take a look at some of those trial customizations. So the Desk.com team has worked tirelessly to create new features in Service Cloud to bring what's best about Desk to the Salesforce platform. We've included features to assist with agent productivity, components to bring that much-loved Desk look and feel right into Service Cloud, and we've also pre-built some custom reports and dashboards so service managers can immediately start reaping the benefits of Salesforce's reporting features. Now let's take a look at what packages we have to offer you in order to get set up and ready to go with Service Cloud. First, we have the DTM package. By availing of this, the Desk.com team will set up a customized trial on your behalf and migrate all of your data into Service Cloud for you. During this process, we will also assist with your license swap over with your account representative. The timeframe for completing a DTM package is between 3 to 5 business days. Timeframes will depend on such factors as migration complexity and scheduling of our handover meeting. Another option we have is to apply for our Mission Easy Move package. With this package, you receive all the assistance as with the DTM, but additionally, our team will also implement all of your Desk setup in Service Cloud, leaving you with more time to focus on your team's transition success and ultimately allow you to focus on your customers through this transition. Again, timeframes will depend on such factors as migration and setup complexity and scheduling and training availability, but we aim to have these completed and handed over no later than 3 weeks. It's important to note here that both of these packages come at no cost to you and are completely free. So, how can you help us get started? We recommend a number of steps to ensure your migration is successful. Such recommendations include reviewing your Desk.com setup and cleaning out any rules, macros, email inboxes, etc. that you no longer need or use to ensure we only bring over what's needed into Service Cloud. We also recommend scheduling in time with your team to determine when is best to move forward and begin this migration. Now, let's review quickly what you're going to see in today's demo. We'll start by showing you our process of trial setup and data migration. Then we'll move on to Service Cloud and show you some of these great customizations we've built out firsthand, as well as taking a look at some implementation areas we tackled through the Mission Easy Move package. So let's dive in. I'm just going to change over to my screen now and have a look at the demo piece. Now, so first up, we have the trial sign-up screen. So this is the process we would normally take customers through, and we would normally go through ourselves when going through either a DTM or a MEM. So we just populate our information here. We'll just pop in a test domain for this webinar. And here we fill in our desk.com endpoint, which is your desk.com URL. Oops. So now it'll send us to a new page just to ask us to verify. And of course, the desk site I put in is actually, looks like it might be inactive. So under normal circumstances, we would authenticate this and it'll send us an email to set up our trial. That usually takes a few minutes. So what we'll do is we'll skip over to a trial that we created earlier on. And this is the screen that you're greeted with when you first log into Service Cloud. So there's some useful tips and tricks here, some video guides to help you get started. But we'll skip past this for now and go to our migration tool. So in both the DTM and MEM package, we migrate your data over. And this is the tool that we use to do that. So you'll see there's two options. We have an article migration and a case migration. So articles gets over all your articles and knowledge base from desk, moves that across. And case migration is all of your case data. We'd follow through the steps here and map your fields over. And that starts the migration process of importing your data into Service Cloud. Now we'll have a look at an org that we created earlier on. And that has some data in it. So you'll see from the off that there's some familiarities from desk.com, like this status option over here. It's a nice visible option that shows your different statuses. And it's very similar to what we had in Desk, and it's something that we actually custom built into Service Cloud. Another thing you'll notice is that there's no filters down the left-hand side. That's because these are called list views in Service Cloud, and they're actually just here in the top. So you can swap through your different list views by just clicking like that. Now in Service Cloud as well, there's actually no automatic refresh for your list views here. So what we've done as well is we've built in an automated list view refresh. So it automatically refreshes this view. So any new cases that pop in or replies from customers will pop straight up here for you. So let's have a quick look at a case. Now, so we see here in the top left, very similar to what we had in desk.com, we have our case details area, which has much of the same information that you would have gotten in the agent in Desk. And if we look down, we have our contact and account information. In Desk, this would have been customer and company, just in different naming conventions in Service Cloud. And then in the center here, we have the main area, which is where we're going to reply to our cases. So if we have a look at the new email section here, see we have our usual to, from, and our subject. What you also notice is we have a rich text editor. This is something that Desk didn't have, and it was something that we were asked for quite a bit, and now we have it in Service Cloud. So you can add images, hyperlinking, you can format your text, bulleted lists, all in here. and it'll format nicely for the customer. Then if we move over to the right, we see our knowledge component. Again, this is something custom that we've added here. In Desk, it was a little bit harder to find. You did have a knowledge option, but it was a little bit harder to find underneath the reply field. Here we've pushed it right out to the front, so agents can search for knowledge articles and attach those right to the cases. Okay. We also have macros similar to what we had in Desk. And these actually work very similar to how they did in Desk. We can search for macros here, or you can actually add a new macro right here, which again is something agents didn't have the option to do in Desk, but they do in Service Cloud. And to apply a macro, simply just double click on it. And we'll see we get updates here on the right of what it's doing to the case. And it'll check those off one by one. And it's updated a good few fields here. It's changed the priority, the status, the case owner, and it's populated some quick text here for us to send out to the customer. And then all we have to do is hit send, and that's it. Now let's have a look at some reporting features in Service Cloud. So you just click this drop down here. You can get back to that trial onboarding piece just here. Let's have a look at some dashboards and reports. So just give this a second just to populate data. Now, so you see here we have lots of nice charts with information in them, which is all your case metrics. And this is much more robust than the reporting that we had in Desk. In Desk, you could add some filtering, and that was pretty much it. In Service Cloud, you can build out reports from scratch, include any metrics that you like in these, and then you can build out these lovely dashboards from that to showcase your information. And if you're looking at one of these dashboards and you want to get a little bit more information, you can just click on the original report and it'll open up that report. So let's take a quick look at some of the areas and some of the setup flows that we would go through in order to set up Service Cloud for you. So we pop over to Service Setup here, and you see there's lots of nice flows here. So if you wanted to go through setting up email, all you have to do is click Email Setup, and it gets you right into a nice flow that you just follow through adding your email details. Very similar to how it would have worked in Desk, except this is probably a little bit more visual and maybe even a little bit easier to follow with the prompts that you get through this flow. Now, on that note, we'll jump back across to our slides. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed our demo, and please keep those questions coming in. I see we have a few there. So how can you avail of either package? First, we're going to host a poll. You can register your interest in either package. For simple trial setup and migration, please vote for A. And to register interest for our Mission Easy Move package, which includes implementation, please vote for B. If you're unsure about which package best suits your needs, don't fret. You can reach out to us either through our support center by filling out our demo request pop-up, or simply call or email our support team and they'll be happy to assist. So just before we get into our Q&A session, I just wanted to bring your attention to this slide, which has some clickable links, great resources to help you learn more about Service Cloud and all the benefits of making this move. I'll just give you a second to finish that poll, and then we'll dive into our Q&A. now. So let's have a look at some of these questions that we've gotten here. So a great question here. Do we still have a description box for internal notes? So there is actually a notes feature in Service Cloud, very similar to Desk where you can add internal notes. But we also have Chatter, which is a great tool for collaboration internally. So you can actually mention different agents on that, and it'll allow you to cross-team collaborate on cases. But there is also a notes section where you can add notes to a case if you want. Let's see what other questions we have coming through here. So how about, oh, sorry,
Eric, I was just about to answer another question there. So are there forms still available that we can place on our website for customers to open cases? So yes, as part of your add-ons that you get with Service Cloud, you get the communities add-on, and it works just like Desk where you would create a widget that you could put on your website. Your customer could submit to that form, and that would come into Service Cloud as cases.
And just to follow that up, we had another question here. How about rule migrations? Is that a manual task? So rules in Service Cloud work a little bit differently than in Desk. So basically, as part of the MEM package, part of that implementation is implementing your rule setup as well. So in Service Cloud, we have different types of rules, same as Desk, and we have Process Builder as well. So as part of that migration, we would implement those rules for you.
It's another great question. Up to what point will you offer this migration assistance? As it stands right now, we are offering this migration assistance until the end of life of Desk, which is March 2020.
Just another one there. We treat open, pending, and resolved cases as separate inboxes. Is there a way to bring back the filters on the left-hand side for quick access? So you do have quick access using that list view option there at the top that I showed. So you can have your different list views for open, pending, and resolved, the same as you would have had in Desk.
Is there a customer portal that allows customers to log in and see their own or their company's own requests? Yes, this is the same thing as the communities add-on that you have. Works very like the desk.com support center, where you can your customers can log in and view their own cases. So very similar, and again, you get this add-on completely free when you switch to Service Cloud. Another great question, in addition to knowledge base articles, is there a way to attach PDFs to responses? So yeah, there's actually a couple of ways that you can do this. You can actually attach your knowledge articles as PDFs, so you don't need to add them directly into the email itself. You can attach it as a PDF in the knowledge component on the right-hand side, like we saw in the demo, but you also have that standard link option that you would see in any standard email responses. So we've got the rich text editor with that with that linking option for all attachments. So to answer your question is yes, PDFs can be attached to responses.
Just another one there that's come in. Does the ## shortcut still work? So the ## shortcut was very specific to Desk, so it's not quite the same in Service Cloud, but there is a whole host of different shortcuts that you can use in Service Cloud to do a whole range of different things throughout the platform.
Another really great question, and you're probably all thinking something similar. Is it best to migrate now or wait until Desk end of life? So It really depends, but we would encourage you to migrate now in order to be able to make that transition process a little easier for yourselves. It gives you more time to learn Service Cloud. It gives you more time to get it set up the way you want it, with our assistance, of course. We would do the Mission Easy Move package for you, set up all your desk integrations and configurations in Service Cloud. And then it actually gives you time to have a look at the power of Service Cloud and what extra features you might want to avail of. Service Cloud has upped the productivity of many support teams that have moved to it. So in order to benefit from it, we would advise moving sooner rather than later. But if you want to wait until the very end, that's also fine. It's really just a case of whether you want to move quickly or have the time to kind of get used to Service Cloud and learn about how it works. So depending on what you want, but our advice would be to move sooner rather than later.
And then just another one there. So during the migration, is desk.com still available to use? When is the official switchover made? So yes, so desk.com is still available. When you're switching your licenses over to Service Cloud, your account executive will organize a courtesy contract with you. So that'll get you 3 months with desk.com. So you can still use both concurrently in that time. And as for when the official switch is made, that's up to you. You can choose a go live date in order to determine when you want your licenses to swap over. But as I say, you will get a courtesy contract with Desk. That's for 3 months. And then just another one there, will the macros we've created also be migrated? Yeah, so as part of the mem package, we would create your macros for you. And as we said, we would usually ask that you go through them beforehand just to see if there's any that maybe aren't used anymore or aren't used that often. But we would migrate your macros over as well.
Great question. Is there downtime during the migration? Nope. The migration tool runs separately. All we're going to do is make a copy of your desk data onto your customized Service Cloud trial. It's not going to affect your desk site at all. You can continue working within it while the migration tool runs. It's really not going to have any sort of effect on your daily workflows within desk. In fact, most of the package that we're doing for customers doesn't really create any downtime for your users within desk. It's a case of making the switch over when you choose to switch to Service Cloud. Your desk site will run and work as it always has. Another great question, will data that's used during the trial be migrated at go live? So actually what's going to happen is your trial site is going to be turned into a production site. So all the setup we've done and all the data we've migrated will just be switched into a production site when your licenses are going to get switched to that org. We'll take the trial out of the URL for that, and that will be your production site. So we won't be moving all of your setup and data again. Once we've got it all set up, that's the one that's going to be ready to go live. Okay.
Just another one there. Do you have a new iOS app available as well, or would it be the same? So it's not a new app, but it's the Salesforce app instead. So you would download the Salesforce app, and you'll have pretty much the same functionality, but there's an awful lot more to it in order for responding to cases for agents.
Is the data resynced just prior to go live? Yes, we will always do a final migration. It can actually happen after go live if you don't think that you have any current working cases. What certain folks do is they will enable their email into Service Cloud and actually start working out of Service Cloud. And you basically would make a copy of a case within Desk as well, because your email's still turned on. And when we can then run a final migration after that fact, or we'll just run it the day before you go live. So another great question, desk alerts by email when functionality is down. Will Service Cloud do that as well? Yep, you'll receive email alerts when anything regarding Service Cloud is out of action for the time being, and you will then also receive an email when the issue has been resolved. What happens to your data if you don't make the switch? Okay, so if you choose to go with one of our packages just to see what it's like on Service Cloud, that's absolutely okay. What will happen is if your trial org does not turn into a production org, it'll just be deleted and your data will be wiped after 90 days, as is with Desk. Another great question, does Service Cloud support custom domains? Yes, it does. It's just in setup like it is in Desk. You just create your own custom domain.
Another great question there. Our cases already exist in Salesforce, but they are missing info. When cases are migrated, can you select specific fields to update, or will it duplicate all cases? So with the migration tool, when it's migrating data across, it will do a check for duplicate data, and it will do its best to ensure nothing is duplicated. So if you do have that case data in Salesforce already, when you're performing the migration, it won't duplicate your data. Okay, so I think that's probably all we have time for today. If you do have more questions, by all means, if you want to pop them over to our desk support team, they'll be happy to assist as well. And as I said before, if you are interested in either of those packages, you can fill out the pop-up modal on our website or contact the desk.com support team either by phone or email. Again, just want to thank you for joining us today, and we'll be sending out the recording of this webinar as well as the slide deck with those resources. Thanks very much for joining, everyone.